Hi everybody, I'm Lynn McDaniel of Estate Sale Goddess, and there's Ty back there, Estate Sale Goddess. Ty, you gonna come and say? No, he's not gonna say anything. Hi, again, Lynn, Estate Sale Goddess, and I am here today to tell you about this wonderful gentleman in the family of Sidney P. Brown. And the name of this sale, ladies and gentlemen, is He Ain't Heavy, He's My Brother. And it starts February 22nd and 23rd from 9 until 3 p.m. And it will be located right here in beautiful downtown Hyde Park, North Kenwood, Bronzeville, Chicago. So let's get right to it. Sidney P. Brown, the Chicago Board of Education Vice President, ladies and gentlemen, for 17 years from the 1940s on. And that was a challenging time in the United States, ladies and gentlemen, in Chicago especially, and he was on the board. Bless his heart, and he made some wonderful changes. And in case you didn't know, Sidney P. Brown, there's a bank over on King Drive. I think it's called the G&N Bank now, but it was the bank that Sidney P. Brown built. He built that bank, ladies and gentlemen, him and some more movers and shakers in the Hyde Park, Brownsville community. They built that bank and a lot of other things. He was a Northwestern graduate. He was also an attorney. He was also affiliated with the Alpha Phi Alpha. And if you don't know what that fraternity is, that's the smart fraternity, ladies and gentlemen. No offense to my Omegas and all the rest of them, but the Alpha Phi Alpha, that, ladies and gentlemen, they were brilliant. They are the brilliant group. This is another photo. And right here is Sidney P. Brown. And this is November 11th, 1955. He was still working at the Board of Education as the vice president. And here's another one. And this was taken by a Chicago public school photographer. These are original photos. They're all in black and white. Many of them are stamped on the back. For example, there's a stamp on the back that says the Chicago Public Schools, and that's him, and it looks like they're at some sort of a banquet. Excuse me. They are plenty. Let me see, who is he here with? See if you can see anybody in this photo that you might recognize. This photo is by Cecil Lane out of New York, and if I'm not mistaken, it's dated 1971. Sidney P. Brown, you know, he created this poem for the Alpha Phi Alpha Society fraternity. There's a poem that he is credited for writing, that every fraternity, that when they're trying to cross over, you have to learn that, you have to abide by that, you have to embrace that. Am I right, brothers? If I'm not correct, please let me know, but I do believe that, I know that he wrote it, I know that he's credited for it, and I know that each when you pledge, you have to know that inside and out, and you have to believe it. And that is why we named this cell He Ain't Heavy, He's My Brother, because this organization is an organization of brothers, and they take it from the cradle once they get into the fraternity to the grave. They believe in each other and they support each other. This is him right here, Sidney P. Brown. You know, he also Oscar Brown Jr. He was related to Oscar Brown Jr. right here in the neighborhood, just a couple doors down. And this amazing estate, ladies and gentlemen, you should come to this estate and you should walk in these hallowed halls of all of these wonderful Black royal Chicagoans. They lived here. His wife, no, his son was, his daughter is Joyce Brown Tyler. She married Scott W. Tyler, and Scott Tyler was a heavyweight in his own right. Also, they had a son, and his name is the artist Dred Scott. And I'm sure everybody remembers when Dred Scott he got a phone call from the President of the United States. He had a show at the Art Institute, and the president called to tell him to take that damn thing down. And he says, no, I'm not taking it down. It's art. You know, I am entitled to express my opinion. So again, this is Sidney P. Brown, the wonderful, talented, loving Sidney P. Brown. And this photograph is by David Jackson of Ebony Magazine, ladies and gentlemen. It's right here, tapped on the back, stamped right on the back. I just love having the opportunity to share this information with you. and hopefully you will join us at the sale on February 22nd and 23rd, and come in and purchase some of the items from this wonderful family. For example, Joyce, you're talking about style and class, and you can just tell from not only just her handbag, which is a vintage Gucci. I see everything all the time. I've never seen this particular bag, and it's lizard, and it's beautiful. Like I said, this is a handbag. You wear it in the crook of your arm, girls. You wear it right here, and then you can walk, and you don't have to try to put it on your shoulder or crossbody. You go into the restaurant, you can keep it close, you have a slim profile, you go to your table, and then you can just have your bag right on the table. So it's not a really big bag. This is style and this is class. I'm just going to put this right here. No, I'm not either. I'm going to put it right here. And because I wanted to show you this right here, this Lerone Bennett. Did any of you all make the Lerone Bennett liquidation that we did? We liquidated the estate of Lerone Bennett. He was the 50-year editor of Ebony magazine. He was there for 50 years, ladies and gentlemen. And this is just one of his books. And this book is The Shaping of Black America. This is the first edition. Let me see. I do believe that it is autographed. Yeah, it is autographed. And it's an autograph inside. Yeah. And this is Lerone Bennett. And who is he talking to on the back of here? He's talking to my favorite man in the whole wide world, Charles White. We have a Charles White here too at the sale. So ladies and gentlemen, please come and see. Come and see Estate Sale Goddess and see what we have. Also, there's a lot of political ephemera and memorabilia. This hat, nobody but Harold. Who remembers Harold Washington? He was a force here. He was a force. And we campaigned our hearts out for him. And this is one of the campaign hats. These hats, they just don't come up. There's a lot of repops out here, but these don't come up. Nobody but Harold. That's incredible. This is an incredible cap. This also is very nice because this right here is a bumper sticker, and you might see the bumper stickers all the time, but this is an actual pole that goes on the lamp poles all around the city. So when you're at a stop sign and you just look over there and you see Washington, press 9. What is this right here? This was punch 8. Yeah, that's, when we used to have to punch back in the day. And so this is Harold Washington. Lots of interesting things here. Don't miss the Chef's Kitchen. Don't miss the Chef's Kitchen. Scott Tyler and Joyce Tyler, Joyce owned a travel agency, and she traveled the world. So they hung out in Switzerland, they hung out in Paris, and they ate well, high on the hog. Scott was an incredible chef. It's a chef's kitchen here. He only used copper. He wasn't using anything else, maybe a cast iron skillet every now and again, but the majority of his pots and pans were copper. And I believe he purchased them all from the Bazaar Français at 666 over on 6th Avenue. Yeah, because this is not Crate and Barrel. This is not, I'm sorry, Crate and Barrel. I'm just saying that these are the high end, the very best, the creme de la creme of cookware. He wasn't playing. And don't miss, if we have any kitchen people out there, don't miss, he framed his receipts from the very best restaurants. And some of those receipts are from the 60s and 70s. And he was balling, because when your bill is $800 in the 1960s and it's only 3 people, wow. So you're really doing something. And now for all of you vintage lovers, I just want to show you a few things. This is the Black Rock Opera. So I'm just going to put them here so you can have a look. And my favorite, I don't know why I love him so much, Adam Clayton Powell. Black is beautiful, baby, but this is Keep the Faith. And I really love this. I really love this. So there are plenty of albums here. Some amps in the back. English Racers, Art, Charles White, Dred Scott, Mid-Century Modern. They loved Milo Bowman. Milo Boffman. They loved him. Buffalo Soldier. So, and this is a entertainment house. They entertain dignitaries here. And this is Miss Coretta Scott King. This is, Free at Last, Free at Last. This is from her book. You know, one time we liquidated the estate of Chauncey Eckridge, the attorney for Martin Luther King. And I remember one of the things that was in the estate was a telegram from Chauncey Eckridge's wife to Coretta Scott King. And she said, you know, our husbands have both died, and they were commiserating together, and it was a telegram. It was a telegram, and it had been covered, for as a keepsake. And I remember I touched that, and I thought to myself, Coretta Scott King had touched this, or these are Coretta Scott King's words. So again, free at last, free at last. And this is told by Coretta Scott King, My Life with Martin Luther King. And there is a book out too. And I think that we're going to have a book club of some sorts. And the name of the book is King. And there's been a million books on Martin Luther King. But this book, King, it really talks about some things. One of the things that they talk about in that book is that, he was taking weight loss drugs even when he was arrested, at all these sit-ins and going back and forth. He still stayed on his medication because he was concerned that he wanted to look the part. He wanted to appear healthy to the world. He didn't want to be overweight. And so that was one of the things that was stuck in his craw. Also, did you know that his real name used to be Michael? His father's name was Michael. And then his father decided to change it to Martin Luther. So therefore, he had to change his name to Martin Luther King Jr. And so it's so many little interesting tidbits that I never knew. That's a great book. You should read it. And this is the youth choir of the Christian Unity Temple. That's a good one. Now look at this guy, Chuck Berry. Maybelline. I love that. Why can't you be true? Okay, and this one, oh, come on. Dizzy and Charlie, come on. I shouldn't just be so informal. It's Charlie Parker and Dizzy Gillespie, the Giants. And look at this little sweetheart. This is Bob Teague, Letters to a Black Boy. So many albums here, so many incredible pieces of vinyl here. Come, take your time, look through it. This is Estate Sale Goddess. We always have a wonderful vibe. You're going to come here, you're going to meet people, you're going to see people that you already know. Come here, meet, shop, talk, engage, and learn. And that's what we're here for. Thank you for tuning in. This is Estate Sale Goddess. I'll see you at the next sale. All love. Till soon. I'm your Estate Sale Goddess.